Pennsylvania deserves to be heard, and the gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is the final amendment to the bill, which will not kill the bill or send it back to committee. If adopted, the bill will immediately proceed to final passage as amended. This motion to recommit is to defend ethical conduct throughout our government. In response to the Watergate scandal, Congress created the Office of Government Ethics to protect against unethical behavior in the
The gentleman will suspend. The House is not in order. The gentleman may continue.
In response to the Watergate scandal of the 70s, Congress created the Office of Government Ethics to protect against unethical behavior in the executive branch. In 1988, President Ronald Reagan signed into a law a bill to strengthen the Office of Government Ethics by removing it from the Office of Personnel Management and giving it greater independence from the White House. Now, Congress is attempting to undo this vision of a strong, independent Office of Government Ethics at a time when we need it more than ever. This bill would put the Office of Government Ethics right back under the control of the White House. And that is why this motion to recommit simply excludes OGE from this bill. We appreciate the need for strong ethical guidelines, most strongly when people act unethically. Every day, we witness this White House struggle with honesty and credibility. We've heard the promises. We heard the promises last night, the ones we've been hearing all along, which when you promise to create family-sustaining jobs by revitalizing American infrastructure, and then we find out he means to do it with tax breaks to huge corporations and none of the regular guarantees that the people actually doing the work will be treated right and paid fairly, that's when you have a credibility problem. When you promote yourself as a man of the people, but then we find out you have stuffed your cabinet with out-of-touch billionaire friends, that's when you have a credibility problem. When you promise to fix America's education system.
The gentleman is correct. The House is not in order. The gentleman from Pennsylvania continues.
When you promise to fix America's education system, but then we see you appoint Betsy DeVos to head the Department of Education, someone with no education experience, someone who wants to gut public education, that's when you have a credibility problem. When you address Congress and promise to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act in a way that guarantees increased access, coverage of pre-existing conditions, and that costs will go down, but no one in America knows how you plan to pay for that, that's when you have a credibility problem. We don't need a White House with a credibility problem. We need these promises the President has made to come true. We need a stronger economy full of family-sustaining jobs. We need Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare to be protected. We need to have an executive branch we can trust. This is our future, and we need to be smart about it. And I believe that smart people trust, but they verify. The problem is we do seem to have a president whose relationship with the truth is at best a nodding acquaintance. And this is why we need a strong Office of Government Ethics more than ever. And Ronald Reagan was right. It needs to be an office independent of control by the White House. We need it to keep our leaders from enriching themselves in public office, to keep our leaders honest, to help us trust but verify that our elected officials do what's best for the American people and not their own pocketbooks. We needed to ensure that our president is acting in our best interests with nations around the world. We've already seen this president and his staff repeatedly lie and refuse to answer questions about their business and political ties with dealings in Russia. seen at a minimum improper and potentially far worse collusion over rigging an election. And we have seen the administration attempt to influence investigations into their dealings with Russia. This president, we need an Office of Government Ethics to be independent of the White House, because this president has used diplomatic relations to promote his businesses abroad at the expense of the American taxpayer. He promised to drain the swamp and immediately started appointing his billionaire buddies to cabinet positions and rushed their hearings through before they could even complete the ethics process. After winning the election, he doubled the price.
Gentleman's time has expired. For what purpose does the